You know, I don't think I'm ever going to get tired of saying that. Today is a very big episode. Welcome back to another episode of my California Golden Seals Draft to Glory franchise mode series. We have new life. We are revitalized, although a crucial mistake in the last episode could blow up our plans entirely. I don't want to take too long, so let's get into your comments so we can get into this episode. Starting off with one Lance Link. Lance, thank you. I thought the last episode did go quite well. Paragon, you should look to draft players that are loyal. That is not a terrible idea, and a fair point. I'll try to look out for that as much as I can. Eliza, I just want to point out, I read the whole thing, but at the bottom you're going to smash the draft? I hope so. Thank you for having faith in me. Epic, are you going to bring back Zeeler and Ivanov, or are you going to let them go to make space for the upcoming guys? So that brings me to the topic of discussion where, again, I done goofed in a major way. Now, we still have plenty of cap space, but as far as these contracts resetting themselves, that is permanent, and that is because I forgot to sign a $20 million player. Now, on the bright side, Ivanov and Zeeler's deals are both up, so I should be able to make this work, but obviously it hurts now paying Nylander that much, Moreau's that much, Richter's getting paid a shitload. So, yeah, our window of opportunity, like our prime time window of opportunity, is going to be to win within the next 3 to 5 years, I would say. If you look at whoever we get here in the first round, once their entry-level deal is up, if we get other high-caliber players who are also going to be looking for $3 to $4+ million a season after their ELC expires, that is where we could get into some serious cap trouble because of this. So make no mistake about it, my mistake in the last episode, without a doubt the biggest mistake of this series, talk about certain, letting certain people go like Eli Maroon, that is the biggest mistake I have made, bar none, is forgetting to sign a $20 million player. But it's one little slip up like that, something so routine where if you forget to make it, it throws a wrench into your entire plans. So we will see what happens. John Nicholas, with all the picks you acquired, you should be scouting smarter and have scouts uncover specific players in the first 2 rounds. You're not wrong at all. I'm just lazy. Cops, maybe you already answered this already. Is there a particular reason why you wait until the offseason to sign people? I'm just lazy. I wish I could give you a better answer, but I cannot. Andrew Walsh, joke's on you, buddy. It was like 3 days. Although your comment says 2 days ago. Maybe it switches to 3 days by the time I record this. So joke's on you, Andrew. How do you feel? How do you feel? Getting to Lander, I do enjoy the challenge of the series, but trading them for 7ths made me cry. You think that wasn't difficult for me? As someone who loves pick hoarding with the best of them, you think that wasn't difficult for me? Come on now. Brandon Allison, if this team ever wins the cup, I'm downing every drop of alcohol in a 50-step radius from me. I hope you're nowhere near alcohol. If you are, I'll tank it, because I don't need a viewer of mine dying from alcohol poisoning. That means less ad revenue for me, and that's what I'm in it for. The ad revenue, the money. Ha-ha! Thomas Shea, not relevant but a fun callback. Now here's the thing I have been told a lot. Unfortunately, with the whole Sea Dangle podcast bringing up the Seattle Sea Cattle, it's cool, but it wasn't in reference to my series, and I'm self-centered enough that it makes it less cool. Does that make me a dick? Probably. Dan Ramage, I appreciate you staying true to the series concept. Too bad the Sea Cattle didn't get a chance like this. Why? Why you gotta bring up the Sea Cattle? Why you gotta do it? That's just old wounds, man. Jean Iman, would it be? Well done, this episode was entertaining. Thank you. Only mistake was the whole $20 million thing. You're not wrong. And indeed, you did tell me that Nylander would turn the page, and I appreciate that. Your other comment as well, I'm just going to cut it short and say this. I just want to keep the 7th round picks, I guess. Once we kind of cross that line of doing anything else beyond trading, then people are going to be like, well, what about this and what about this? So I'm just wanting to keep it simple, but not a bad suggestion. That said, let's get down to this. It is pretty straightforward because almost every other comment was in relation to signing or potentially drafting one Mr. Bachman. He dominated. Of course, I was an idiot and put the poll up late, but he still dominated that. We'll be looking probably at Crawford if Bachman's off the board. If Smobby somehow... Smobby or Smaby? I'm going to call him Smaby. Maybe. Just for that, I'm calling him Smaby. If he somehow falls to us, we'll take him at that point in time. The one thing, though, the one thing that I'm interested in is taking a look here. Now, Ivanov and Zeeler actually don't want to re-sign. Whew, $65 million. That's not bad. It's not bad. I guess the question of how discounted would it be, right? I mean, the 85% trick isn't going to work with them wanting to re-sign. I'm just going to throw some offers out there, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can get those slight little discounts. Let's go 9.1 over 8 years because we'll trade him before the end of that deal. Same with Zeeler. We'll try to get him for as cheap as possible, and we'll definitely trade him before that deal expires. Let's look at all the other expiring contracts. One of the Francois as an RFA, $6 million. Ooh. Ouch. So if we go, here, let me open up ye old calculator app. Ye old calculator app. Let's go with the 7225. We do the old 85%. If I can knock that down to 6.2, that's not bad. And if he rejects it, we'll have to wait and see because he is an RFA. Boro, what are you looking for? You know, I'll definitely go 4-1 because that's a decent little discount there, sir. And to be honest, I don't think you're going to get any better. That would not be that. Boy, you ever hit the wrong keys on a keyboard and it just gives you the complete wrong answer? Yeah. Let's go down to 3-5 for you. Yes, that's right. I'm making you wait for the draft. I'm making myself wait for the draft, damn it. People are always like, why do you wait? And now I'm not waiting. And now people are like, but what about the draft? I agree. I agree. Oh, Jean-Francois, you are not worth that at all. But I'll try it. I mean, you might be long term. And then from there, I don't think we're going to save that much money from anybody else. I'm still going to try to sign Yang long term because I think he'll be a long-term member of this team. You can tell, though, with how much extension money we have, we're going to be fine. So let's see. That would be 4-2. That'd be about 3-9. 3-4? I believe that. Or, yeah, 3-4. I'm just trying to think how long I want to sign him for and how much money do I want to try to save. I think if we go with 4 years and knock that down to about 2.925, that would be a pretty sweet deal for us. And from there, we are good. Ockerland's gonna. Okay, let's debate this Ockerland contract. Which, in fairness, what if we go? You know, I'm okay with 2 years actually. Which is actually that's maybe not. Maybe not, man, with him still being medium elite. If we could get him signed up long-term right now, Sestito style, that'd be the way to do it. It'd be 6.55. Technically, we could go a little bit cheaper. I am willing to do that. I'm willing to do that because I think he's going to ask for more than that, much more than that, once we hit the re-sign phase. So we'll see as far as those initial offers, the big-time offers that we have to worry about. Let's advance day. Will we get any responses, I suppose, is the big question. We do not. It is draft time. Let's do this. Bachman, Smaby, what will it be? We have the number 3 pick. Here we go. The Vancouver Canucks select Smaby. Smobby. I'm pretty sure it's Smobby because there was a Tampa defenseman named Matt Smobby. Jalen Smobby goes to the Vancouver Canucks. We are going to have to go through him to get to where we want to go. So that's a little bit rough. Now, the big question is here, what do the Devils do? Do they take Bachman? They do not. They take Lack, the 80 overall medium elite defenseman. He actually finished dead last in the voting and in the suggestions. So, would have been interesting had we taken somebody else. But that means we are getting who you guys wanted. And I am excited for this. Angelo Bachman, straight A's. Tarasenko comparison. Let's see what we have here. The 17-year-old, by the way, who is unfortunately not immediately eligible for the AHL, but he might not have to go to the AHL. He might jump straight to the NHL. Angelo Bachman is an 80, absolutely jumping straight to the NHL. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you very much. I believe this was Detroit's pick. Good stuff. Very, very good. Extremely well-rounded. I mean, just to say he could fit into the top 6 already would be an understatement. A great pickup for us. The big question is now, number 8. That is the first pick that we could potentially botch. Waters was also an 80, which means Crawford is the last man up. He was a 79, and that's who I would have gone for, so we may have dodged a bullet. So taking a look at who is still available here, Calgary and Los Angeles are ahead of us. Again, we were potentially looking at another defenseman, and there's quite a few. There's Andreoff, Nazarov, and Watt. We also have Marshall and Miller in that top 6, and then of course you have other players available. Now I will take a look here because I know some people like to know. No franchise guys, but there are some medium elites, including Braxton Conacher, who we might be able to get later on, and then obviously trying to get someone like a Sergei Nichushkin in the 3rd round would be amazing. But I don't know who I'm hoping for here, to be honest. Again, Andreoff straight B is outside of the A- shooting. Same thing for Nazarov as a defenseman. Both defensemen, actually. And then you got Tyler Marshall, who again was a bit further down, very physical. Eric Watt, who, I mean, has that extra A, but a C in defense. And then Miller, who we don't have completely accurate information on. I wish we did. There is the chance of him being medium elite. I highly doubt it, though, based off of what everyone else is looking like. So it'll be intriguing to see who's off the board. Calgary with the 6th pick take Andreoff, who's a 73, and the LA Kings at 7 take Marshall, who was a 67. So the overalls have dropped off significantly, and I guess the big question is, do we go for Nazarov or Watt? Do we get another Nazarov into this series? I'm not afraid to go slightly off the board. Again, with Miller, it's those 2 C- and the fact that it's not confirmed. And with Eric Watt, I don't think I'd rather have a B puck skills as a B puck skills and a B- defense over an A- skills and a C defense. So if I'm taking a defenseman, it's going to be Nazarov, although 2 very different type of defensemen. We have a 2-way and a true offensive D-man at 5'8" in Eric Watt, as I thought it made a pick for me there, and I just panicked because I don't even recall hitting the back button. That scared the ever-loving hell out of me. From there, again, a couple of B's and C's. I think we were pretty much on board. Sadikov. Ooh, boy, he's a grinder and not confirmed, but that could be the type of off-the-board. Oh my god, Kolosov as well. Jesus, Kolosov. Okay, and also Pronger. What the hell? Vickers, oh my god. Sadikov, Kolosov, Pronger, Vickers. That is nuts how highly rated those guys are. Krause, it's not confirmed, but he could also be a really good late pickup for us. And even Stefan Weeding, I believe it would be. Then there was Reed Rammer, who has an amazing name. That is some tremendous alliteration. And Larry McPherson as well, but we can't trust it. When is our next pick after this again? 21st, and then the 25th. God, we did so well in recouping picks. All right. Do I go with the higher rated Nazarov? For me right now, it's either I take Nazarov or I go out and go a little bit off the board with, I don't know if I want Sadikov as a grinder, but he could be the type of guy where he's good enough to just change to a power forward. With that physicality and that defense, change it from a grinder, have him be a power forward or a 2-way. Guaranteed. Guaranteed he'd do well. This is such a tough call. That first call was easy. It just all depended on what the AI did. This sucks. There's so much pressure to not screw this up. I mean, again, when you look at our defense here, right? I mean, right there is our top 4 with Nicholson, who's coming up through the system. And then we have Vorobiev. That was the big question, is whether or not we trust Richter to fill out the top 4 or Vorobiev to develop there. But there's no doubt some extra defensive help for McCult and Nicholson would be great. But is it as needed as some offensive help, which you could argue I mean, that right there is our top 6. And then factor in who we just drafted in Bachman. Oh, God, we need help everywhere, though. We really do. It doesn't matter, right? I'm going to get forward help. I'm going to get defensive help. I need to go with the player that I think is going to help us out the most. And I don't know who that is. You have Nazarov. We know Nazarov's never going to be this, like, amazing point producer. Eric Watt might be, but it's a question of whether or not his defensive stats are too low. To be honest, I would probably go for Watt, actually, despite Nazarov having the better grades. I don't trust Miller being elite, and if I'm wrong, so be it. So it's either I go for Watt or I go off the board here. Again, Stadikov, 3 A's, 2 B's, and then Kolosov is insane. All A's except for that B in defense. And again, he's 6'5", so I don't know how good of a point producer he's going to be, but maybe if we change him to a 2-way, he's golden. Malachi Pronger, Ian Vickers. I think I have to go for Kolosov. He has the best grades across the board, the same potential. If this was a different series, we'd trade down. This is a massive risk. But I think taking the Latvian, who played in Ukraine, I think taking the Latvian here might be the best way to go. He has the best grades, at least. There's no guarantees of a medium elite elsewhere. I mean, again, you look at Watt. I'm going to go with my gut here on this one, guys. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go off the board. I'm going to go with Andrei Kolosov, who looks like an absolute gem with the 14th projection. Kolosov is a 79. Yes! Which he should be, but you can't blame me for thinking that something was going to go wrong. Let's go. Oh my God, what a major help. Now, he doesn't have that crazy potential, but he might be an NHL for us next year, or we give him a year, he dominates either unsigned or in the AHL, not the KHL. Oh my goodness. 82 offensive awareness, not bad. Just extremely well-rounded. Extremely well-rounded. Maybe he ends up being another Barry Fuller type. But there we go. What a draft. Bachman and Kolosov. It seemed like such an easy decision to go with Kolosov, but you can't blame me for thinking, like, am I overthinking this? Watt would have been a 70. Oh my God. I don't think you can blame me for panicking that I might have been overthinking this, as Miller is confirmed as a top 6, not an elite. My one concern, of course, is that there's that other group that also looks amazing that we're not going to be able to take. Nazarov was a 71. Oh my God. Just, I almost panicked, and I'm like, but the projections don't mean anything. The attributes are what matter. Oh, thank God. Stadikov is a 75. I really want to see his grades. A 2-way would work for him out of the gates. He might develop into a power forward. Might. That's a tough call. And again, we don't pick until 21 here. Kraus is off the board, a 71. He was actually even further projected down, but he's also not looking that bad. We got the best player of the bunch, though, out of that group. Pronger is a 73. Winnipeg at 18 take Vickers, who's a 73. Tampa at 19, they take a high 9 McCann, who's only a 61. And Vegas at 20th get Weissmuller. So we have a nice little opportunity here with the 21st pick. Conacher is right there. Yes. Yes! It's going to take him a while to develop, but we have time. I'm not passing up on a medium elite. There's no way. Obviously, and we pick again in 4 picks, so if a Wheating's there, Rammer, whoever, that's fine. But yeah, no doubt, the 17-year-old Braxton Conacher falls to us at 21. He is a 63. Dude, this draft, man, we did so well. So well to turn this around. We are, except for the salary, but even then, I'm not sure how much of a problem it's going to be instantly. But Bachman, Kolosov, and Conacher as a project. Craziness. Let's sim to our final pick of the first round. Wheating's off the board, Haskins and McLeod, which means Rammer is still there. So that could be interesting. We have Tate Hewson, where we can't trust those grades necessarily, But as it is, Rammers are confirmed. Reed Rammer, the 18-year-old, that Jeff Carter comparison. We also have Riley Correa. I mean, we'd still take Rammer over him. Correa actually even had worse skating. Cristiano Ricci could be our second Ricci. A, some B's and some C's. Same thing for Rammer. All right, Ricci is actually ranked ahead by 1 by our scouts. Larry McPherson, if we could trust that, that would be amazing. That would be the risk it for the biscuit pick. George Perreault, B's and C's. Also not bad, but I'd take Rammer over him. There was a Vonnie. Right now, I'm just going off of grades. I want to see some good grades. Nothing good there from Flood. Come on, children, don't disappoint me. Get those report cards up. Chance Hill, also not terrible. A complete unknown. We just had a shitload of medium 9s there as well. So, nothing too crazy. Dennis Sylvester, nothing amazing. Come on, do we have any other strong grades here? Any confirmed? Amazing! Pat Ling. A+ shooting for a defenseman. Good physical, decent defense. Can't skate for anything, but the 19-year-old could work. There's also Jelena, who might not be bad at a low elite, so we'll reconsider him, and that's why I went back and looked once we found Hill. Right, how much further down? There's another low elite in Jokela. Jorgen Gunnarsson, probably not worth it without being confirmed. Jokela is not great, but not horrific. Dominguez, meh. Saul Thompson's not terrible. I'd rather have him over Viborny for sure, and we're not going to have to scroll down that much further. So, when is our next pick here? So we have, what, the 6 or 7 picks there, and then we get the 7th pick of the second round. Okay, so we don't have to scroll down that far. Didn't mean to go to offer trade and might have to call a timeout here just to play it safe. But we don't have to go that far off the board. The AI is not going to reach by that much. So we do have the option of Reed Rammer, who is pretty damn solid as an offensive force. The skating's not quite there. We have Rammer. We could take the risk with Larry McPherson. He had 50 points in 63 games as a 17-year-old, and again, those grades aren't confirmed. But if they're anywhere close to correct, that could be the steal of the draft. And then down to Chance Hill, who might still be available in the next part of the next round. And if he's not, we get guys like Jelena. So that is the choice right now. Do I take Reed Rammer and his amazing name, someone who can immediately go down to the AHL if needed, and the grades should be good enough to get him there, or do we go for the mystery box in 17-year-old defenseman Larry McPherson? Guaranteed medium top 6 in Rammer, or mystery box in Larry McPherson? I think I'm going to take the mystery box. Because even if it's a swing and a miss, we still have a 75% grade. Now you could say, well, 100% grade, but what happens if we take Rammer and McPherson's grade? Do you take the sure thing or do you risk it? And in a series like this, at this point, I'm going to risk it. Larry McPherson. Okay, so we have medium, like we've had nothing but medium 6s and 1 high 9. This would be the first bad potential of this draft. And if we're the ones to have to take the first bad potential, so be it. Larry McPherson is a low elite 76. Yes. Yes. Let's go. I will take that. 76 overall at 17 years old. What a beast. Defensive D-man. Oh my god, yes. And he will have time to develop. And again, with the way low elites develop in this game, Grand Slam. 4 for 4 out of the goddamn park. What a first round. I know we took 3 defensemen, right? That might be the one holdup that people have is like, well, you did take 3 defensemen. The rest of this draft, we just go for forwards. And you have to remember, too, we have extra picks next year, if I'm not mistaken. Not any high picks, But look at that. We still have 3 second-round picks to come, 4 third-round picks. We actually might not have any extra picks next year. We don't, but that first-round pick next year could be a forward. Granted, it'll probably be a later pick, but I'm fine with it because I think those 3 defensemen were the best 3 to take at the time. So that could be the one downside where people are like, maybe you could have used the extra forward, but if you look there with that 8th pick, there was no question it was Kolosov. You could debate Conacher, but you can't doubt, you can't pass up on a medium elite that falls to you to take a Haskins. You just can't do it. And then to have McPherson there, that might be the one that people disagree with. Rammer was a 66, medium top 6. I think we nailed it, guys. I think we knocked this out of the goddamn park. And I'm very excited to see what the rest of this draft brings. This is shaping up to just be a draft-based episode. And as it stands, the quality has dipped. So I am not going to be afraid to make off-the-board picks still. Yeah, the quality's absolutely dipped. I would have taken Ricci, like Correa, Houston, Rammer. We made the right choice. Let's see who's available. Our first pick of, I believe, 3 in the second round. Hill is on the board, but oh boy, I really want to risk it for him too. We'll see. There's also the confirmed low elite Jelena, and from there another defenseman in Ling who also looks amazing outside of the skating. It's a great draft for defensemen. It really is. And there's Jokela at low elite. Our first forward is Saul Thompson, who we can look to get later on in this round. Like, Dominic Viborny isn't that strong. Cedric Walker as a center is okay, but confirmed medium 9. Griffin Mink, another defenseman. I don't believe he's going to be medium elite, not with those grades. And then there's the goalie, Brian Raffle. The one thing I'm unsure about is the fact that he's 19 years old, right? So I feel like he's going to be a medium starter, not a medium elite. Knowing my luck, he's going to be a very low-level franchise. We'll keep an eye on him. He's probably the best guy to take in this draft amongst goaltenders. Hello, Bo Conklin. Low elite. All right, so Bo Conklin's definitely on the radar. And then there's a gem of a defenseman, too. Darius Stewart, 17-year-old, also looking promising if he doesn't fall to medium 9. Ilya Popov is okay, but I mean, a gem at low 4 confirmed, so screw that. Brizgalov. And from there, hello, Bartley, but confirmed at low 6. And unfortunately, the grades aren't exactly jumping off the page. I don't really trust that. I'm sorry, but to me, like the confirmed, I know he had good shooting, by the way, Zach Chung. To me, yeah, this is just a great draft for defensemen, guys, and I think that's how we have to play it. I think that's how we have to play it. This is just looking like a phenomenal draft for defensemen. I mean, maybe later we'll find guys like Jaffrey, who might be able to make it work. Do we have anybody else? Again, another couple of gems, but low elites, I don't like their ceiling. Rive, low 4 there. I mean, we're way down the board now at this point. So I think we do some damage with these high-level defensemen now. Bednar does have that good shooting, but he's going to be a one-trick pony for sure. And then Perron, I know the timer's going to. Don't worry, Perron could be a decent low-risk pick later on. Just from what I'm seeing, the trend of taking defensemen and just not having to worry about it might be the way to go. And then you factor in compensation picks later. It's tough. I mean, we do have a lot of picks in this draft. Chance Hill, I mean, we'd have to take a chance with him. When's our next pick after this? 13th. Okay, so interesting. I know we need forwards, but it's just nothing but promising defensemen on the board right now. Again, Jelena could develop, and then Pat Ling is the really interesting one. Like, the really interesting one. And then Jokela. Pat Ling, just for the current overall. So, I think what I'm going to do here, I might take the chance with Hill. Jelena, we know it's a low elite, and we know it's going to take a little bit of time to develop, but I want to know what Chance Hill is and how far those grades could drop. With that high physical, there's a good chance of being a fairly decent overall. And then I think from there, I'm going to look at Pat Ling just for that shooting, the physical, the decent defense. I know that there are low elites on the board, but a medium 4 who's already a bit more developed might not be the worst way to go. He just can't skate for shit, but... And then again, there's Raffle later on, and then Conklin. So I think we take a defenseman or two. Probably take a defenseman, take Raffle, take Conklin perhaps. Stewart's available later on too. I honestly might avoid Raffle, even though I'm very afraid he could end up being franchise. But he's also 19 and not showing signs of having a high overall. So, and goaltending wise, to be honest, if we double check our current situation there, I mean, we're pretty much good, I'd say. It's not looking all that bad. With Connor Walchuk, Ackerlund the way he is, I think we're good. Then Fox is finally up to a 70. I think I'm going to avoid the goalie, and we're just going to have to hope for the most part that Ackerlund's the guy, unless we get somebody later on. So, 2 low elites. Pat Ling, who has crazy shooting, physical, and decent defense. Or Chance Hill. And, I mean, we risked it once. But I'm so enamored with Pat Ling. And that's really, I mean, yeah, you can use the word enamored there. I'm going to take Pat Ling here. As crazy as that is to not take the low elites, I want to see how good he is. I want to see how good of a shot this guy has. Pat Ling is the pick. Pat Ling is a 72. I'm not complaining. 72 at 19 years old, medium 4. How's the shot power? 86. Ooh, look at the accuracy on that shot. Damn. He could be a decent goal scorer for us. I'm okay with that. I mean, we'll see what Chance and others end up becoming. Darsh, medium 9. Lundqvist, Hovland, Russo. Oh, boy, it could have been better, though. It could have been better. All right, we took the chance with McPherson. We should have taken the chance with Hill, too. He is 2 overall points better, 2 years younger, and has a better potential. So the Bruins made it work. So this will, at the very least, go down as a 9.5 draft out of 10. I don't think I can consider it a perfect draft. Pat Ling is a good pick. We didn't get Russo, but it was between Ling and Hill. I went with Ling. I thought Hill might drop a little bit more. He didn't. So that's a tough pill to swallow, but that's okay. Now the big question is, Jelena and Jokela are off the board. It's between Thompson. To be honest, it's between Thompson and Raffle. Thompson, B's and C's, nothing too special at 18 years old. Viborny as well was worse, yeah. So B's and C's as an 18-year-old. Conklin, the low elite, has pretty good shooting already. I think Conklin wins. And Stewart's a little bit better as well, and there's a chance of him having a higher potential. So Thompson's going to be off the board. The big question right now is whether or not we go for a Raffle, which we might. When's our next pick after this? I know we only have one more pick in this round. It's 21. We need the forward help. We need the forward help. I admit Raffle might be great. We need the forward help. So I'm going to go a little bit off the board here. We're going to take Bo Conklin, the 17-year-old. Already has pretty good shooting, leadership ability as well. Very loyal. Let's do it. Bo Conklin from the Tri-City Americans is the pick. He is a 64, low elite. Not bad for a 17-year-old. He could develop into something good, and again, does have a half-decent starting shot. Should have taken the chance. Viborny's a 60. Thompson is a 63. Jokela and Gunnarsson out of nowhere, a 61. Zeeler, a 63. Jelena, a 64. So, at the very least, I took one of the best 2 defensemen remaining at the time. I didn't take the best one, but still. I mean, again, now defensively, we're sorted. Raffle, I'm going to avoid you, and we are going to take Darius Stewart from the Everett Silvertips. And we're going to hope that he is actually low elite, or at the very least, medium 6, low 6, and a 64. So, not ideal. He was worth the risk of potentially being better. Again, would we have, with hindsight, rather ended up with the low 6 gem? Sure. As Bartley's off the board, Brizgalov, Popov. Still really like how this draft is sorted out, though, thus far. Moran. Hamonic ended up being pretty bad, a high 7th. Medium elite Raffle. Yeah, I had a feeling he was good. I don't regret missing out on a medium elite. If he was a franchise at that level, I would be just apoplectic. But thankfully, that's not the case. Let's see who else is here. Again, we're pretty much going forward hunting. We're going good grade hunting, as we had done before. Again, I don't trust Chung at that level. We're going good grade hunting for the most part. AJ Brigley, no thank you. B's and C's there, but a terrible potential. Kavanaugh, not looking that good. I need to first see someone like Jaffrey, actually. I got to look at the potential first. Jaffrey could be the next guy to take the risk with. Blake Lutz, probably not. Again, I'm going to avoid those gems. We already looked at Rive. Let's take a look at Flaherty, B's and C's. Capaduca we looked at. Bennett Climby, also B's and C's. I'm not going to be against taking a defenseman if they are very clearly the top guy to take. Medium, top 6 gem, Jacob Novotny. At the very least, he's 18. It's going to take him forever to develop, but he might. We also have C's and D's with 1B, Nasir Fistrich, or Fistrick, which I doubt he stays at that potential, so I'm not gonna give him too much attention, to be honest. Carpentier is a no. Colin Clark, also a bit of a no. Do we have anybody else here? James Monroe. It's a low elite grind. Medium elite Walsh. Hello, Pierce Walsh. Again, going to take him forever to develop. Could be worth it. Medium elite gem defenseman Nichushkin. We also have Duke Tripp, and let's take a look at Nichushkin. Same thing, going to take him forever to develop. But that's the type of player that could help win us this series, win us a cup in this series, and essentially win us the series before things end. There's also the medium elite grinder Castonguay, who had good physicality. Medium 6 Jermaine Irving, also very good physicality for the 20-year-old. Okay. I think we have the future here pretty well panned out. Let's go back to the top of the list. Indeed, there was a gem goalie there that I noticed. So as far as who we're taking here, projected to be drafted next, it's either Jaffrey, the 18-year-old, who has a good shot. Everything else needs to develop. It's either Jaffrey or it's Perron. And I'm going to probably go for Jaffrey here, and then we'll look at Perron and Novotny. So Evan Jaffrey from the Oshawa Generals is going to be our next pick. We're going to hope for the best and hope that that potential stays. And it did not. He's a low 6, 59. Okay, so 2 low 6 forwards in a row. Not necessarily ideal. I mean, our next pick is right here, so should be fine. But a bit of a swing and a miss there, and we're certainly going to look now for more of the guarantees, which, I mean, Perron and a medium elite, not quite. We're going to take Novotny first and foremost. I want to make sure that we end up with him. So let's see what we got here with Jakob Novotny, 52. Ugh. 52. Will he ever develop? Odds are against it. But those are the type of players where if they do develop, we are going to indeed find success. No crazy good potentials, though, from the looks of it, so we can't say we missed out on anybody. It's worth the risk. So let's see. Next up would be Perron, if we wanted to risk it. Or it would be Monroe, the low elite grinder. And then there's the medium elite Walsh. When is our next pick after this? Very soon. So I think we either take Perron, who, I mean, it's hoping that he stays, or Monroe, the guaranteed low elite grinder, James Monroe, the 18-year-old. So let's see, the guaranteed low elite grinder, or the medium elite, who apparently has good shooting. I'm going to go for Damian Perron. Let's aim higher here and hope we get lucky. And we didn't. He's a 60, medium top 9. So tried to hope for the best. I mean, he's not bad. Maybe he carves out a bottom 6 spot, but let's be honest, probably not. So just to make sure we get who we want, which we'll probably get both of them, I'm going to take Walsh. Pierce Walsh plays over in Finland. A 17-year-old with this next pick. He'll be a very low overall of 50, but he is a medium elite and may very well develop. So, like I said, it's kind of a risk to not take that low elite grinder, but I had a little bit more confidence in maybe, hey, if that other guy at least gets close to low elite, I kind of like the grades a little bit more, and just, you know, him not being a grinder. Admittedly, it was that other grinder that kind of scared me off as far as his offensive awareness being a bit lower than I thought it would be when he had pretty good grades. So, regardless, we move on. Monroe is still there, actually, as is Tripp, but in my opinion, it's got to be Sergei Nichushkin next. We'll take another defenseman. He is a 49 at 17, was it? So again, all the time in the world to develop. This draft, we've gotten some high-end players, and we've gotten some projects and a half. But we might be able to make it work. In terms of picks that we have remaining, by the way, because that was our only pick in the 4th round, are we down to our final 3? We are. Only 3 picks left here in what's been almost already, or has been already, a 40-minute video. So that's how that goes. Irving ended up being a medium top 6 grinder. And let's see who else was here. Half-decent overall fringe goalie there. Low elite Monroe was a 54. Any great players that we missed out on? The answer appears to be medium elite Castonguay. Goes to Montreal, but we ended up with Nichushkin. Would have rather had Castonguay because we need the forward, but still. All right. Who is left is the question. There is Mason Winquist, who is not a guarantee. And then we have a bunch of low elites. We have Mayorov, C's and D's. Horrible skating for Rajala, but he has decent shooting. Todd Strong as a gem, but I don't buy into that because he's going to be a very low overall, and he is 19 as well. He's going to have less time to develop. So I just flat out don't buy into that. Israel Maurer could be strong, but we don't know that the potential is going to hold. I need to see some really promising grades if I'm going to risk it. And I got to be honest here. I just want to sort by goaltenders, just to double check here. So amongst these starters, Pat Pietrangelo, man. But we don't need to risk it. What about defensemen? Odds are I'm taking goalies with the rest of these picks. They had Tristan Cahill, who I don't have faith in. Also Kyler Kambietz, who I also don't have faith in. Polasek and Yip. All right, it's all forwards from here on out. Let's see. Who is it going to be? I'm going to go down here towards the bottom. So we have Roy Seal. Again, I don't trust it. I don't think there's going to be anybody grades-wise, like Marcel Briere, but I don't trust it. I don't think there's going to be anybody grades-wise that I'm willing to take the risk on. Like, I don't think there's going to be like, oh my god, yeah, that's the guy to take. So I'm looking at the confirmed low elites here. And I want the youngest players. Is there a 17-year-old on the list? There isn't. So we're going to go for the 18-year-olds because they'll have the most time to develop. So we're looking at Bjorkstrand, Tamara, and Mayorov. Mats Bjorkstrand. A couple of D's, mostly D's, a C and an E. Tamara. A couple more positives, and then Mayorov. Vladimir Mayorov, the Russian, is going to be my first pick. He is a 53, so we'll see if he develops. Here in the 6th round, at this point I don't even care if the AI gets somebody over me because it's fine. I would have had no way of knowing anyway. Next up, it is going to be Tamara. He's scheduled to go the soonest. He's a 48. Ooh. Well, we're really going to be putting to the test the abilities for low elites to develop. Overall, this draft will end with me regretting just one pick. And that is, of course, taking Pat Ling. but that's hindsight. And Bjorkstrand just fell off a cliff. I thought he was confirmed low elite, wasn't he? Unless he was like one shade away. Okay, so we ended up with a 9 out of 10. I thought Bjorkstrand was confirmed low elite. I guess I just looked past it. Sorry. So outside of the Ling pick, which could have been slightly better but still wasn't bad, and getting Bjorkstrand in the 7th, which, you know what? I mean, it's the 7th round, so I'm cool with it. We ended up with a lot of picks, and we just did a whole lot of damage with those picks, with that compensation. The big question is whether or not anyone accepts our initial contract offers. We have some scouts that have had their deals expire. Ivanov rejects. Yang rejects. Francois, Ackerland, Boro, Zeeler. Everyone rejected. Well, it was worth a shot. So let's take a look here, shall we? Again, Ackerland. Ackerland is wanting 6-1. So we're definitely not going to be able to get you on like a crazy deal. But I can't help but think he's going to get even better. So, I mean, if we look at what this offer would be, 10 million bucks, probably too much. You can knock that down to about 9, 8, about 7. The 7 I'm okay with if he accepts it, which he should. I'm not against paying an 86 overall goalie 7.5 per season, especially when he has room to get better. I think that's the right time, if he'll accept this deal, to give him that little bit of extra money now to sort that out. Again, we have $67 million in space. So, Van Allen's also signed. Connor Walchuk, I'm not sure. Pickard we signed just for the season, so we can drop him. And then Fane will probably never sign. Odds are we'll sign Connor Walchuk, but I'm not doing it as of this moment. Defensively, Zeeler does not want to come back. He does want a long-term deal, though, and that could save us some money. I'm going to go 8.5, which is a goddamn steal for him. We'll have to negotiate that out. We have the first Francois. The first Francois, which, I mean, he's looking for 6'3 already. So I'm going to guess he is assuming he'll be better. 7 million to just lock him up long term. I'm also not against that either. That would drop it down to about 6.5. That would drop it down to 6. We might as well just try to pay him the 7 million now and see if he's willing to do it. I want to sign these deals, get these guys locked up long term, and in that way we don't have to worry about it. Holmberg needs a deal. Ideally, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Holmberg should still be signed. He might be the type of guy that gets moved out. Kolosov, though, I can't believe I might sign a dude to an NHL contract at 17. That's insane. I'm going to have to really take a look at the AHL right now. Is there anybody for sure that I'm getting rid of? The answer is no. Amongst the right wings, Boro, I'll come back to. Let's go to Francois, who's coming off an amazing year. And to be honest, I mean, he just wants to get paid. So I might as well try 6x8 and just never have to worry about the discussions. It's a risky deal, I know. We'll end up signing Bachman. We know he's on his ELC. Left wings, Svoboda needs a deal. Ivanov, though, is the next one that I want to take care of. And he wants to get paid no matter what. It's honestly very, very little difference. So we'll try for 10.5 first. Like I said, the good thing is we got $67 million in space, so this whole issue, we should be able to survive it. Ivanov rejects, Francois rejects, the other Francois, the forward, signs. Ackerland rejects, Zeeler rejects. Oof. Tough crowd here. Tough crowd that we're dealing with. We got $62 million in space. For the UFAs, let's try to get this sorted. So for Ivanov, I'm going to give him the exact year amount that he wants. Let's go for 11. With Zeeler, same thing. Going to give him the exact year amount that he wants. We're going to go up to 9. With Svoboda, I'm going to give him the exact, he wants nothing. Let's bump that up to 125. Holmberg as well, not a big-time deal. Oof. To be honest, we might just be letting him go. He's looking for a bit much. And Bannister might come back just for the sake of bolstering up the AHL. We'll see. So let's see. Ivanov rejects. Svoboda rejects. Zila. Jesus Christ, these guys are becoming a problem. I have to go through and sign everybody else here first. I got no choice. So for Åkerlund, I gotta be honest, I might be able to save money long term, but if he is resistant to signing for those extra years, then I'm just gonna sign him to a 3-year deal, get a discount now at 5.2, and we'll see what happens. But that's obviously gonna be a rough contract to deal with in the future. And to be honest, I am gonna sign Konowalchuk, and he'll probably be in the AHL next year with Fox. So that at least takes care of the goaltending. Zeeler. Same thing. Let's go 7, and we'll go 9.5, which is still a decent deal for him to keep that under 10. The other Francois wants 4 years. I'll leave it at that. I'm not even going to try to negotiate these extra years anymore, just because we need to sign these guys now. So let's go 5-4-5. See if he's willing to accept that. Aside from that, I mean, we have Vorobiev, we have Kolosov, McPherson, who's nearly ready. I guess the big question is, if we consider Vorobiev and Kolosov NHLers, that means we're trying to develop McPherson, but he is Canadian. So then the first guy we're trying to develop still is Blatny. Ling can also be signed to the AHL, so that's 2. McCult would make it 3. And then from there it drops off a little bit. So we are actually going to want to bring back probably Saugus, Hancock, and Bannister. I'm going to let Holmberg go. We're not going to need him. He would just end up being traded. So a former 6th round pick, maybe he goes out somewhere and gets paid. But Holmberg is gone. Kolosov, again, I don't know if I'm going to sign him yet. I might. Saugus, are you looking for a decent amount of money? You're not. I'm going to go 1 year at 1.2. See if he accepts that. Hancock, let's go 1 year at 1.1. And for Bannister, let's try to sign you up on a 1-year deal as well. Blatny at 23, pretty worried about his development. The fact he wants a one-way deal is fucking absurd, if I'm being honest, but we'll try it. Let's also sign McCult to his ELC. And Nicholson, because we have to, although he's really a bit too low for AHL development. Boro, I'm not going to worry about the RFAs right now, I don't think. Actually, again, I have to. So Boro doesn't want that much, which is fairly promising. We can drop that down, hopefully, to 3.925. That's about the minimum that the 85% trick would allow us, which, again, often doesn't work this time of year, but I have to try it. And Yang, again, just going to give him the year amount that he wants. I've tried, of course, to offer people. I've tried to offer them those extra years. Hasn't worked, so we'll just go with the year amount, the term that they want, and just try to get these deals done at this point. We can't afford to be cute about this. Bachman, I'm going to hold off on signing him. Left wings, Svoboda. He is going to want a little bit more. Let's go up to 1.5 just to try and get him signed. He might still be crucial for this team in terms of a bottom 6 role. Nylander, we should be able to sign for cheap. He'd retain RFA status, I believe, heading into next year. Let's go 1.375. McCammond also needs a deal, a 24-year-old. Let's drop that down to 1 year because, yeah, you're not all that promising. And we'll go 1.15. Hopefully save a decent amount of money because otherwise we would be overpaying you, buddy. Melnick, Ivani, Vaborny, my God. There's still so many other guys to sign. Ivanov is obviously the biggest one. 7 years, let's go up to 11. He is worth it, I would say. And then Clements, we'll also see what we have here. Let's go, you know what, 2 years works. 2 years works, although you might not develop that much more. Let's go 1 mil for 2 seasons. And hopefully we get some players signing some contracts. Wouldn't that be nice? because this has been a tad bit stressful. Ivanov rejects. Yang rejects. Hancock rejects. Clements. Francois. Finally, someone accepts. It's Nylander. Nicholson. Svoboda rejects. Ackerlund rejects. Konowalchuk. Bannister. Boro. McCult. Signs. Zieler rejects. Saugus. McAmmond. Blatney. All accept. This is becoming a much more tedious situation, time-consuming situation, and concerning situation than I thought it would be. We still have nearly $60 million in space, though. So, right, Ackerlund, I'm not going to look to give you the extra years. 85% would knock that down to 5.1. I'm going to try 5.5. I'm still wanting to get a discount here, damn it. And unless you're a UFA, I'm not really that afraid. Although, that said, as far as potentially trying to sign you back once you hit the free agent market, that could also be complicated. Francois should be able to get you on a cheaper deal. God damn. Let's go for $6 million flat over 4 years. Hancock, you are outrageous, buddy. 1 year. I don't even know. To be honest, to be really honest with you here, Hancock, I mean, I need people in that role, but if you think I'm going to pay you $1.2 million, at least right now, absolutely not. Boro, 4.6. What can we drop that down to? Let's try to go 4.25, just to save a little bit of money, because you never know, this could end up being problematic. Yang as well. Again, not the biggest contract in the world to get a discount on, but still, I demand to win. I'm stingy. What can I say? Svoboda. 1.5 wasn't enough for you, huh? Let's go up to 1.8. If that's not enough, I might be telling you to hit the bricks. Ivanov, you are causing issues, sir. Losing you would certainly be a step back for this team. And then Clements, I mean, whatever. I'll just give you what the hell you're asking for. You watch. He'll still reject for some reason. Let's see here. We only have a few days left. Ivanov rejects. Yang accepts. Clements is here. Francois rejects. Svoboda rejects. Ackerlund signs. Boro signs. Zieler rejects. 2 days left. 2 days left. It was becoming a very difficult negotiation period, to the point where Zieler and Ivanov might have to get the 1 year, $20 million deals. That is honestly what we're looking at this point. Francois, I'm just going to send you the offer that you want, because fuck. And then from there, I mean, if that is our top 6 with, say, Kolosov, or even Saugus, again, I need to try and re-sign Hancock, but for that amount of money, I'm going to go 1 year for you. 1 year, 1.5. If you don't sign that, hit the bricks and stay home, because no one's going to sign you anyway. Same thing for Bannister. I'm just going to give you a max deal. If you reject that, hit the bricks. Nobody's going to want you aside from this team. It's just the only team where you'd actually be relevant. Svoboda, I mean, goddamn. I'm going to offer you $2 million for this next season. Please get your shit together and accept. Vani, just going to offer you what you want because it's a two-way deal. Viborny, going to offer you what you want because it's a two-way deal. We need to sign Baines. We need to sign Jacobs. Is there anybody else? Even though Jacobs is probably going to get ripped apart in the AHL. And then centers, it's just Ivanov. Yeah. So, as far as those big deals are concerned, I'm going to send out one more offer. And if it doesn't work, then fuck, $15 million deals. Let's try to sign Zieler. Again, we do have the option to just ditch them for nothing if worse comes to worse. So be it. I mean, is Ivanov going to be worth $12 million a season? No, but we'll do what we have to do to make this work. We have 1 day beyond today to make this happen. Ivanov still rejects. Hancock rejects. Ivani signs. Francois signs. Svoboda. Bannister rejects. Jacobs and Zieler rejects as well. A couple of other guys accept. That's insane. It's insane that those guys are rejecting. So in terms of expiring deals, actually here, just let me look at RFAs. We have no RFAs left. Final day, and it's just UFAs to worry about. So Hancock and Bannister are gone because I don't care about them. Hancock was a first-round pick, unfortunately, who just never panned out. And Bannister was a second-round pick. So there you go. But here we go. We have $43 million, and we are going to go for the 1 year, probably $18 million. Probably. I might just go up to $20 million for each of them just to get them back for the season. It sucks that we're at this point with these two, but it is what it is. It'd be very nice if we had more details, and that's something I'm certainly going to fight for in terms of contract negotiations, even something similar to an MLB, where you can see just how much importance there is to, oh, like, I don't know, success. And then you could be like, oh, well, what if I give you, you know, this agreement? I don't know, like a no-trade option or something. You know, anything to just be able to negotiate to keep somebody here. Especially when they're, you know, if they didn't want to sign, you should just literally have it be you click the button and they're like, yeah, I want to move on, I'm not talking to you. And then that way, you're at least screwed and it doesn't drag on for 8 days. So, you know, $20 million each. We'll see what happens. And hopefully they sign. Otherwise, they go to the free agent list. Ivanov and Zieler have signed. So we have brought back... Oh, shit, I forgot the scouts. That's okay. You can't blame me for forgetting when everything was as tense as it was there. As you might have heard the dog yawning in the background, and I promise you, it was as adorable as it sounded. Let's go ahead and hire 6 scouts. We'll look for the 6 highest rated. Dwight Schrader. Although, they did fix the amount of salary guys are looking for, so this will be interesting to see if I can afford everybody. I'm going to try to afford the best guys they can. I forgot in that most recent patch, they kind of fixed that about the budget. So the days of getting all the best scouts as opposed to then having to actually well-round it could be over unless it doesn't affect you outside of owner mode. We're about to find out. Peter Kolnick's there, then I'm going to sign that Mishenko for Scandinavia. This has turned into a much longer episode than I initially planned. This has turned into a pre-success Draft to Glory style episode, where it is just a marathon and a half. But that's the deal. Them's the breaks. So what we can do is sim the next season, and hopefully all of these scouts were able to be signed. That'd be good. Looks like it, because I want to get you a look at what this roster could potentially look like heading into next season. Only thing I'm worried about is the AHL club potentially signing players, but that is not a big deal at all. So there is that. There is that. As we stretch. 7th inning stretch, folks. The final, well, actually not even, it's the final stretch, the home stretch of the episode. Home stretch of the episode. As, again, I want to get you a look at what this team's going to look like. I know the draft took forever. The re-sign phase certainly took longer than I hoped. But we got it done. We got here. We made it. Almost. I mean, we're almost done. We're getting there. So, it's fine. We'll see what's up. We'll see what's up with the squad. What's up with the squad? What's up with the squad? I'm just killing time because I don't know what the hell to do. Come on, game, load. Save me from myself. I don't want to make an edit. I don't want to make a jump cut this long into a video. I just want to add the comments at the beginning of the video and go straight through and just have to tack on my little outro, the little end slate. That's all I want to do. Thank you. Jesus. All right. So, I guess the first step is double-checking what players are unsigned, as we only have 36 players under contract. Bachman, I think, has to be signed. I mean, again, diminishing returns if we have him try to develop outside of the AHL. Same thing for Kolosov, who thankfully can be sent down. So the 8th pick, Andrei Kolosov, who I love, is being signed. McPherson will not be. I think he'll go 1 season unsigned, and then we'll have him play in the NHL next year. Ling is going straight to the AHL. And from there, I don't exactly trust Voinov to be able to do well in the AHL. Like, you know, those lower level guys do struggle sometimes. But I think we have the space, don't we? In the system. Ooh. Let me double check how many spots we have down in the AHL, I think, first and foremost, before I sign those super low-level guys. And then forward-wise, fairly obvious. Bachman is being signed, your number 3 pick. Hartnell is Canadian, but I might still give a chance to on the 4th line to start the year. Offensive awareness is a bit low. Great shot, though. Very good shot. He could benefit from an extra year in the AHL as well, actually. Or the CHL. Let's take a look at what the roster looks like without signing any more players, and we'll take it from there. So goaltending-wise, it's Åkerlund and Van Allen. Tremendous, Konowalchuk and Fox. That's simply put. Straightforward, done. Zieler, Shattenkirk, Francois, Richter, Vorobiev, and Saugus. Kolosov gets the call-up, Saugus goes down. That's our defense. That is our defense. It's not bad. And then down in the AHL, we have Saugus, Blatney, McCult, Ling, and Nicholson. Where Saugus, I'm honestly not even that worried about. He would just be to make the team better. But at this point, if we're just going to go young and try to develop people, I sign 2 more defensemen and see what they can do. Or I sign 1 more defenseman and keep Saugus on that team. So we have to sign at least 1 defenseman, maybe 2. And then amongst the forwards, that's 10, 11, and 12 with Clements. So we'll send down those 3, and we call up Bachman. And we're pretty much good. So I think the main thing to consider is between Svoboda, Clements, McAmmond, and Marlowe. Although Marlowe could benefit from another year in the AHL. McAmmond's 25, Clements is 23, and what about Svoboda? 27. So, yeah, we probably go with Clements because he still has room to develop. So I think Svoboda, the $2 million man, gets dropped, and I think we're looking okay. I think we're looking all right. So in the AHL, we have the 10, 11, and 12 signed already. We actually don't really have any more room for forwards unless there were overagers like Avani that we didn't want to focus on, or a Svoboda or McAmmond, but I want to keep them on roster for now. So I think that's how we'll do it. I think we're pretty much good to go. I just need to go and sign that, probably just 1 extra defenseman, and we'll let the other defensemen that we don't sign, benefit from being unsigned. And maybe, they will still develop. Unsigned players, thankfully, do develop. So it is going to be Voynov, who is a low 6, so it's not going to be Voynov. It's going to be Conacher, who isn't Canadian, please. He's not. Braxton Conacher, yes, that 21st pick is going straight to the AHL, which absolutely concerns me. But damn it, that's a risk. That is a risk to have him play in the AHL. We'll see if he develops. Time will tell. So, forward-wise, the NHL lineup, just taking a look here, is there another 4th-line guy? There is not. But in terms of 3rd-line players, we have Boro, McCauley, Nylander, Sarno, and Yang. And I think I'd probably go with Sarno on the 4th line. And then we could go, we have the Nylanders as well. Francois, Ivanov, Moreau, probably McCauley. How well did Boro do last year? 32 points. Eh? It's not bad, right? It's not bad. Maybe go Nylander, Ivanov, Moreau, McCauley, Bachman, Francois. Bachman technically has an 80 in faceoffs. I don't know. There is room to maneuver. I will leave it up to you guys. But early look at the team, that seems about right. Now, you could argue whether or not we should rush Bachman. We don't have to. And then defensively, Shattenkirk, Zieler, Richter with Francois. And, yeah, I think we're good. In fairness, I could drop down Richter and give Kolosov a little bit of extra time. Let's take a look here. Crazy slap shot on Vorobiev right now, too. To be honest, that's not bad. It's not bad, especially with an 88 overall goaltender in Torsten Åkerlund. And then down in the AHL, just to get a look at how this is shaping up, Konowalchuk and Fox among the defense. We just need to take out Sean Mayer for Conacher. James is not ours. So I think if we were to base this off of the best potentials, we have the low elites. We have the medium elites, which I don't know. I don't think I'd want to rush the medium elites in the first line time. But fuck it. to try it at the start of the season. Why the hell not? With Conacher and Nicholson. We have McCult and Blatney. And then Ling with Saugus. And Ling has that crazy good slap shot, Al McInnes style. And amongst the forwards, Ryan Terrell needs to be taken out for Baines. And who else? Walter Lang is not ours. He will be taken out for another left wing. I imagine that'll be Jacobs. Yeah, Jacobs is the only one there. And I think that's it. I think we're good. Viborny is ours. Viano is ours. Do we have a right wing that's scratched? Davies, who is not ours. Okay, so this would be the team. Let's see. Do we have any other low sixes who would be immediately dropped? Okay. So then let's see. Low elites. We got the medium sixes that I think we would put underneath the low elites. Svoboda. So let's see. We got Kretschmann, Svoboda. Let's see. We have Baines, Marlowe, and Melnick with McAmmond. I think that's it. I think that is the hopeful winning formula. I wouldn't put too much, expectations on this team to do well in the regular season. That's not the point. We're looking for development. Garnett at center. And Pinot on the right-hand side. There we go. Your North Bay Doolin Narwhals for this season, at least to start. There is a lot of room to mix and match, to make some changes if necessary. We have the hopeful tag, which I don't necessarily disagree with. We'll actually look at the trade values right now because, again, with all those extra picks, this team's changed a lot. So amongst the goaltenders, we have Ackerlund, Konowalchuk, Van Allen, and Fox signed. Fane, we're not too worried about. But between Konowalchuk and Ackerlund, if neither one of them can win us a cup, we're probably screwed. Amongst the defense, we have everyone but Nichushkin signed, but that's okay. We'll give him time to develop over the next 2 years. Big thing as well, seeing how someone like Conacher does, being a slightly lower overall for the AHL. And then we also have someone like Fisher, who might develop, might not. Time will tell on that front. Right wing-wise, again, looking pretty damn good, I got to admit. I'm really liking this team. I'd say right now it's just a matter of mixing and matching and keeping our expectations low for this season. We might be able to make the playoffs for the first time, and if we do, that's fine. I mean, we've done the damage in the draft that we have to do. We managed to get a top 3 pick. That was the goal, while still being competitive. Again, we just barely missed out on the playoffs. We had 4 first-round picks, and now we're going back at it. So let me know what you think we should do as far as line combinations are concerned. And we'll look to change some things up for the next episode if need be. But yeah, guys, damn, that'll do it. This has been a marathon. I thank you for joining me. For those of you who have had a change at heart and have given the series a second chance, I do appreciate it. For those of you who are going to stick with this alongside me for the entire journey, I thank you as well. I love you more. Guys, looking forward to seeing your comments. Looking forward to the next episode already. The California Golden Seals 2034-2035 season begins in the next episode.